preseason games under your belt, take the game up to speed with
It's been good, learning each and every day. Each day gets more and more comfortable, offensively and defensively. I think we're picking up on what he wants us to do.
Well, when you say comfortable, what's I guess the biggest? Maybe it's a learning curve. Maybe it's like just something that you have to get used to. What are you getting comfortable with in the offense?
Oh, just terminology, and then just the style of play, different. So we're just learning, figuring it out.
I know a lot of people say the NBA is kind of like a copycat league. Everybody runs the same stuff, but they call it different things. Is that similar here? Are they running the same stuff with different things?
Some things are the same, and some things are different, and some things like it's a little bit from where everyone's been, like all the coaches, a little bit from where they've all been. So.
This might be a dumb question. If I'm not mistaken, you've only switched coaches like for a different training camp. Your rookie to second, was it Dwayne to Nick?
Yeah.
So how is preseason training camp a little bit more intense when it's a brand new coach coming in as opposed to when you guys have been here for a little bit?
Actually, no. In Toronto too, when Nick left and Darko came in.
Oh, yeah, you did. That's right. So is there a difference when you feel the preseason?
Yeah, with Nick and Casey, it was more the same. He was on the staff already. But definitely, like when Darko came in, and then now, it's a lot different, more intensity, just trying to figure everything out. And they're trying to push the terminology on us, and we're just trying to pick up on it and learn on the fly.
And you guys have shot close to 200 threes through 4 games. Is that just a product of just the style in which Mike is trying to get you guys to play, or is there a concern, like is he pushing you guys, like saying, remember to get these shots up? Is it pretty much probably the
More so, I guess when the game is sped up and there's more driving kicks and just taking shots that are open, I think it's emphasis for everyone to shoot when open. Instead of driving in, shooting a tougher shot, shoot the open three, and just being ready to shoot at all times.
You offensively had one of your best seasons last year. When you go into a year like this, do you kind of expect defenses to play you differently? How do you sort of anticipate kind of a chess match or something like that?
It all just depends on the lineups out there and then also the team we're playing. So it just depends on how the game's going, really.
What do you feel like is that next evolution for you as a scorer after kind of the strides you took last year? Is there something in your mind that's kind of that next thing to unlock?
Just all around, knowing when to shoot, when to pass, when to drive, just knowing what to do when.
What is harder transition or when getting new coaches, is it offense or defense, or what has it been for you?
Probably both, because it's just new terminology, new principles. Some things are the same, but just the new things, having to pick up on it, remember, and to focus on it when you're out there to do what they want you to do, and not just do what you've done in the past.
Usually at this time, you guys are probably just waiting to start the season, get ready to go in a long camp, but is it different now because it's a new coach and you're still learning almost every day something new?
I think we're still excited for the season to start, but also we're still fortunate for these days to learn and grow and figure ourselves out and just prepare for the long season.
Because obviously the roster situation, you have young guys at the end of the rotation that are kind of fighting for their spots on this team. How do you see them respond to the pressure, respond to the opportunities, and respond to what's on the table for them?
I think they've done a great job. They all work really hard. They ask questions. They're eager to learn, and they play hard, and that's all you can ask for.
What are your expectations for the beginning of the season? I mean, new coach, new offense, new defense. A lot of people see all the players that are on this team and think you're going to come out and win 50 games straight. What are your expectations for how you guys are going to start the year?
Of course, you always want to win 50 games straight. But also, you realize it's a long season, so you'd rather learn and grow, especially early in the year, and figure stuff out so you can peak towards the end and into the playoffs. So I think each game we're going to try to learn and build, and hopefully we come out, we win the first 50 games.
Under the previous coach, you guys ran a lot of man-to-man defense. Of course, you didn't do a lot of zone. This defense you guys have run, please correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like it has like zone principles, kind of like. Would that be accurate to say? And like, what is the benefit in that type of defense as opposed to kind of strictly man-to-man?
Just the ball handler, a person guarding the ball, knowing there's help behind you, and knowing where it's coming from, and then just everyone being kind of on a string. But we're figuring it out as well. Like, we're not used to it fully, but each day it's getting better and better. And I think the coaches have done a good job, like emphasizing to us and then showing us on film where we need to be, and then we're going out trying to execute it.
What does your off-season regimen look like? At what point do you come back from taking? How much much time do you take off, or what time do you come back, and then what do you focus on for the offseason?
I don't take too much time off. But just start back shooting, and then get into everything: shooting, ball handling, conditioning. Then later in the summer, start playing pickup, and then lifting the whole time. So, yeah.
So it's not like you come into the offseason thinking, okay, let me work on one part of something I want to bring back for next year. It's kind of just well-rounded everything.
Well, around everything, but then when you're watching games and watching film, you see things that you want to, improve on or get better at, or you're watching other people play and you're seeing stuff they're doing, you want to add it to your stuff. So I think you can always learn. Even in summer league games, you can watch and see something. Oh, I like what they did.
Was there anyone in particular that you watched that you want to pick up on?
No, I can't say anyone in particular, just because you can't say that. But whenever I watch a game, I always learn something, or I see someone do something that I like to try to incorporate or work on.
We haven't talked to you, I don't think, since the season started. What were the conversations like with the Knicks before you decided to sign it? It doesn't sound like they guaranteed anybody anything, but it sounded like there was a real opportunity here for you to come back to the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think, sounds like you nailed it. That's, I think it's all been publicized pretty clearly. We know what the situation is, and, there's no questions around what the reality of that is.
How is camp gone for you in your mind? How is it just like last year? Is it a different mindset for you?
I think you learn to, just as a pro, I think we all just try to manage our controllables, and showing up as a pro and trying to, bring the right approach and mentality to the team setting, regardless of personal agenda or whatever the case may be. So my thought is, how can I help our team and help add to the culture, add to, what we're trying to do collectively, offensively, defensively, and, show up and be the best pro I can be regardless of, what the circumstances are.
Kind of with that, the Indiana series in the rotation, and things went really well with you and DeLon were on the floor. How did that benefit you going into the summer? Just, I know you guys lost, right? That probably stays with you, but to have the impact that you did, preparing for a new season.
I mean, I think you just, just kind of speaks to the same thing I'm talking about, and it really, that's why I think, I try to weigh so much on erring on that side of things. Is just, there's so much stuff that you can't control. You can't control when coach is going to play you, or how much he's going to play you, or whatever. The list is endless, and there's only a few things you can't control: your energy, how you show up, what kind of teammate you're going to be. Your approach, and I think last year was just a good example of that for myself. To be focusing on those things, and that's the right thing to be focused on, and everything else takes care of itself from there.
Coach has been talking about playing fast. Do you think that fits your game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
I run, get out and run, create pace offensively off of DHOs, pin downs. Making quick decisions with the ball, be the first domino, don't have to make the play right away. Coach talks about that a lot, and find your ways to be effective within the flow of the offense, and playing fast and being an asset for others. Even if I'm not getting the ball and I'm running to the corner, that's helping a driving Jalen or an OG or Cat or whoever. There's value in that, even if it's not showing up on the box score, and I'm just trying to do the best I can.
How much do you think these new wrinkles offensively and defensively can kind of lift the ceiling for what you guys were able to do last year? Do you think it would make that big of a difference?
Yeah, I think having a structure where everybody's clear and understands our triggers and what we're trying to do. Obviously we have great playmakers and guys where eventually they're going to be able to shine and do their thing. But the reality is if one or a few of those guys are not on the floor, how do we collectively still be effective and even give other teams a different look? And I think that's what this kind of structure gives you the opportunity to do. If we're playing one way with the first unit, second unit comes in and we're playing solely out of this, some of the structure that you guys are seeing, that's two different flavors that a team has to adjust to in a short amount of time. So I think that's beneficial, and just even on that same note, with our first unit, we have so many guys who are capable and effective offensively, where you're less predictable when playing out of that. So I think it's incredibly beneficial.
It sounds like,
Couple
yeah,
more guys.
you really like the versatility of it all when you're talking about it. And do you think, that plays to your game too?
For sure, yeah. Being able to read and just make reads, play off of each other. We're all learning and still figuring things out. We're adding new wrinkles every day. So I think that's important to note from what us Knicks fans are seeing at home. Like, that's part of training camp, and we're all building. And there's a long game in mind here. So, I know we're just kind of beginning to scratch the surface of what's capable for us offensively, and I think what we've shown so far is promising.
How excited are you personally with everything you had to go through last year, just to show the version of who you are?
Yeah, that last year, we're about a year out, year to date. That injury I had and dislocating my shoulder and getting waived for the first time and having to get healthy and first time in the G League, you get a newfound appreciation for everything. Being in the building, being tired in the morning, making the drive to practice, and all of it looks different, sounds different, everything. So there's never a day that goes by I'm not grateful. That's why I said it'd be a waste of time for me to focus on all the stuff I can't control. That's why I'm trying to just be here and be the best pro I can be, best teammate I can be, and not everybody gets to throw on a Knicks jersey, even if it's for a year or whatever the case may be. It's an opportunity, and I'm just blessed and grateful for it.
Looks like you learned a lot from that adversity. Maybe, as a player, as a person, sort of.
For sure, yeah. Anytime you go through difficulty, hardship like that, it changes perspective, and you don't appreciate all of the good stuff without going through. It's like the no mud, no lotus saying. You gotta get a little dirty sometimes, and there's beauty on the other side of it, though.
This might be a dumb question, but I think the way you carry yourself, you can thoughtfully answer. You said it was clear from the beginning that there was a competition for however many spots. I don't know if you had a relationship with Malcolm or the other veterans, Garrison and those guys. What's it like knowing that you're competing for a spot, but also wanting to be a great teammate in the process? Is that just something that you go through as you mature through the league?
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it has to be one or the other. I think Malcolm, Garrison, anybody in here on a training camp deal, two-way guys, they're all great dudes. And, I'd say that to them. I'd say that to you guys. It's not me sitting here blowing smoke. It's not one or the other. The reality is, too, even during the season, there might be interchange. I'm not going to not be a good teammate to a guy that, maybe he's on a trade block and gets dealt in a few weeks. That's all part of this profession in this league. You're measured on, your pro, your readiness, and if you're a good teammate. Those are things you can control.